First of all, you had the Satan worship performance by Sam Smith. Again, you got a very small clip of that. I was not going to show you other stuff because there's dancers and strippers and trans alphabet stuff. I got to be careful. But there's a lot of this stuff that's going on in there. But you got a very clip of it. Basically, he was dressed as the devil, and there's the man who claims to be a woman was in the cage, and all the stuff and the demons running around and everything like that. It was a whole satanic worship performance. Well, there's something specific that CBS actually put out that I want you guys to see. So, you had a tweet by Sam Smith, who was the one who threw the performance, and he said, "This is going to be special." And CBS replied and said, "You can say that again. We are ready to worship." We are ready to worship. Now, they ended up deleting that because they got just destroyed by people. They ended up deleting that tweet. But they literally revealed the whole point of that performance: to worship Satan. That's exactly what that was. It was to worship Satan, and CBS revealed it. So you've got that. Also, during the performance, the song that they were singing is a song called Unholy. I'm not going to read you the lyrics, but in the lyrics, it even references Balenciaga. That's right. We did a whole thing about Balenciaga, how deep it goes, what's involved with it, everything like that. And the song literally mentions Balenciaga. So you've got that as well. Then, in the next clip.
Because I'm the first transgender woman to win this award.
You've got the man, her name, what's the name? Kate Petrus or something? I can't remember. But you've got the man who thinks he's a woman, claims first transgender to get the award. So they're celebrating that. I had to I cut the clip short, but the camera panned out and the entire crowd got up, standing ovation. They were applauding, so happy. Oh, transgender. Yes, there it is. So you had that as well. Then I also had to throw in the fact that the man who thinks he's a woman thanks Madonna.
Madonna for fighting for LGBTQ rights so much. I don't think I could be here without Madonna.
Of all people. We just talked about Madonna last week. Very, very interesting person to thank, and said that he wouldn't be there unless Madonna was involved. What is going on there? We already know that one of Madonna's adopted children is wearing dresses and dressing up as a woman and all this stuff. I wonder if Madonna had anything to do with him. Interesting. Then, in the next clip.
Mom, it wasn't the actual devil. No, they were just dressed as the devil, Mom.
The host, Trevor Noah, who claims to be a comedian, but I don't think he's ever said one funny thing in his entire life. But Trevor Noah decided to take time and do an entire skit, which of course they had planned out, mocking Christians, saying, "Oh no, it wasn't the actual devil. Oh, I know you warned me about Hollywood.
Yeah, you did warn me about Hollywood. Yes, you did, Mom.
Ha 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 ha." And then said, "Oh, my mom's going to be praying for us all." They not only had that performance, but then they had to go and mock Christians because they knew they were going to get backlash. They knew it. And so they took time to mock the Christians. And then to finish it all off, the Grammys was sponsored by none other than Pfizer.
65th Grammy Awards is sponsored by Pfizer.
None other than Pfizer. Now, that's not it. That's not it. There's also something that I do want to talk about that was involved. Also worth noting is sitting in the crowd was Maverick City Music, who won 4 awards, along with Brandon Lake and Kirk Franklin. Maverick City Music, Brandon Lake, and Kirk Franklin are well known and loved in the Christian gospel music industry, or the CCM industry. So they were in the crowd taking part in the Grammy Awards. The CCM gospel industry is actually more dangerous than the secular music industry. The secular music industry, we know what's coming. Exactly what we saw with the Sam Smith performance. We know that. They even told us that. Oh, I know you warned me about Hollywood. We know that. We know what's coming with that. We know who they worship. They know what it's about. But it is the CCM gospel industry that I tell people to be very discernful about, because I believe they do the most damage, because you have many people who are not following along with what God wants to do. And that includes Maverick City Music, Brandon Lake, and Kirk Franklin. People in Maverick City Music support abortion, and they post about it all the time. They push it all the time. Brandon Lake, he continues to fellowship with people that we should not be fellowshipping with. That doesn't mean we don't witness to them, but there's a difference between witnessing and fellowshipping. And then Kirk Franklin, he's been all wrapped up in the BLM, the woke stuff, the abortion stuff. He's all involved with that as well. These are people that I warn about because they're involved with the Christian music industry, and they have a lot of Christians fooled. Just like Bethel, Elevation, and Hillsong. The damage that these groups do, because they don't worship the Jesus of the Bible. And that's what I want to warn about, just like I talk about with the Chosen. They don't worship the Jesus of the Bible. And these groups don't do that either. And so when they're taking part in this event and they're sitting there watching what is going on, we don't know if they clapped or applauded or anything. They shouldn't have even been there in the first place. Psalm 97:10 says, "You who love the Lord hate evil. He preserves the souls of his saints. He delivers them out of the hand of the wicked." Those who love the Lord hate evil. You would not be in that room at all. Even if you showed up to the event, the moment that you saw what took place, you should have been walking out. But they didn't. And if you look at their acceptance, when they go up there and accept the awards, it's all about me. It's about boasting and being flashy and all this stuff. And we get that if we take a look at 2 Timothy 3:1-5. "But know this, that in the last days perilous times will come. For men will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boasters, proud, blasphemers." Those are the ones I mainly want to pay attention to, because if you go and you look up how they walked on the stage and how they presented themselves, they were all about themselves. They were all about the money. They were all about being proud and boasting their accomplishments. It was all about that. Boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedience to parents, unthankful, unholy, unloving, unforgiving, slanderers, without self-control, brutal, despisers of good, traitors, headstrong, haughty, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having a form of godliness, but denying its power. And from such people turn away. Specifically warns us that in these last days, in these last times, that these people will be here. And we are to turn away. And that includes groups like Maverick City Music, Bethel, Elevation, Hillsong, Brandon Lake, Kirk Franklin, and on and on and on. We need to be careful and discernful about who is actually doing what they do for the Lord. Because, like I said, I believe that Satan, mystery specifically, I believe the tool of music, because we know Satan, I mean, he was the worship leader, basically, of up in heaven. That's going to be one of his biggest tools. And he's going to infiltrate this church. the modern church. And that's what we're seeing now. All these churches across the world playing Hillsong and all this stuff. It's going to come in and it's going to corrupt these churches. And when you see groups like this partaking in the Grammys and what we know they stand for and what they revealed and showed us last night, that should be more than enough to go, I see who you are, and I'm going to go the other direction. It's the corruption of the church. They don't worship the same Jesus, the one true Jesus of the Bible. There's a difference. Many people and religions have all these different views of Jesus, hippie Jesus, and this Jesus and that Jesus, and they say, oh, Buddha was a form of Jesus and stuff. There's all these different versions out there for these people. But there's only one true Jesus of the Bible that can save. There's only one true Jesus that can save.